it's time to go. Oh, we're going. We're going?
Go!
I just wanted to hear everyone play
I know.
hey, go, it's time, Jerica. Welcome to JK Games. It's a game podcast where we bring you the news and reviews we care about.
And wait, whoa.
Shit, I forgot to tell you I was testing. Oh my God, this is going to be an iconic moment, y'all. Are you ready for this? In true Jerica fashion, I changed Kayla's line today. I liked how it flowed better. Is it a tease for something new happening? It is, but I forgot to change it back temporarily until that moment. But guess what? Cat's out of the bag. You're going to hear it live, and she hasn't read this yet. Kayla, I'm so sorry.
That was so funny. That actually is iconic.
Literally.
Okay, yes. Yeah,
I
literally
changed our intro, but I meant to show it to you before, and it's just your line.
I love it.
Okay,
let's run
from
it
the
back.
top.
Let's run it back. Yes.
From the top. This is
Very
JK Games, the game podcast where we bring you the news and reviews we care about.
And we play one more game with you in our official video game book club.
We're working on it. I'm so sorry, Kayla. That's just we're just gonna see how it goes. That was a tease for something. Don't look into it. Whether you're the type to 100% every side quest,
Or you're just here for the vibes in the story.
easy mode, or expert, you belong in our conversation.
So grab your snacks and let's break it down one level at a time.
Meowth, that's right. I just felt like
I love
had
that
to-
ad. That's perfect. It's
felt like I had to add something.
it's
you know?
Pokemon week. Well, it's
Exactly.
Pokemon Day on Friday, so close enough.
Oh,
Hey,
very
I'm
exciting.
Jerica. I like to change our intros up on my co-host and not tell her and just let it like break her a little bit. She's not broken. Look, she's fine.
That was really funny. I'm Kayla. I'm the host in question with the problem. Which is funny because I feel like that just shows like a little peek behind the curtain that like, yes, Jerica sent these beautiful, lovely notes at a time.
I was
And did I
testing
read
like
them?
a new intro. I was like, this
What's funny
is
is
flow
I
better.
read it too, but like since that's the same every time, I didn't really pay attention. You know.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I forgot to
you guys-
like fix that though. I was like, it's not time yet. And I wanted you to read it, but hey, there it is.
I mean, we do a little tease, you know? It's exciting things
Stay tuned.
that are happening. Stay tuned. Josh, hello.
Hello. I gotta say, we're doing Reanimal. I'm gonna do a TikTok about this. A couple weeks ago, I played Woolhaven expansion for Cult of the Lamb, and we have some sheep here, and the sheep gave birth to a little new lamb the same day that I played Woolhaven. Well, last night I beat Reanimal. And today, our other sheep just gave birth to another new lamb. So I don't know. There's something going on.
I'm gonna go
It's
see it.
You're
I
the
wanna see
horse,
it.
but is it You're the lamb? Maybe.
It's kind of wild, actually.
Kind of weird.
There we go.
Oh, that was good off screen. It sounded even more real.
Yeah,
That
I
was
have to
very
like
good.
extend my neck.
Fancy Nancy's here. We do have a new baby sheep here on the farm, in case you missed it.
Nancy, my mother will be
cute.
very excited. She wants sheep eventually. She likes the little baby doll sheep, the ones that are like really little. Is that what they're
Yeah.
called? I
Something
think
like
that's what they're
that.
called.
Teacup
They're
sheep.
They're like the, maybe, probably.
I just like saying teacup. Any animal is really entertaining to me.
Yeah. I want to say hello to the chat. We have a popping chat already this evening. We've got Cognitive Clips. We've got Fancy Nancy, aforementioned. We've got Trav Man. We've got Gianni DeCrosta. We've got P Schwag. We've got, I think that's all for now. But shout out to the High Score Weekly sub. Can I get an amen?
Wow.
If you sub, you're going to get a bleat.
Bat.
Is that what they call it?
Bat. Bleat. Yeah. That is.
There you go. Oh, that's good. That was good, Kayla. See, something about doing it off to the side and extended like a real sheep.
Like a
really,
sheep
yeah, that's
neck.
what they do.
Ragdoll. That's what they're called. Good. Yes. Good call, Nancy. But before we dive into our full Reanimal thoughts review, if you will, which will be happening very soon, and there is going to be a couple sections that are spoiler free. So don't fret if you have not beat it, or maybe it's not on your radar and you might play it. We will eventually go into spoilers and theories and all that fun stuff. But before all of that, I'm going to take you through a little housekeeping, a little schedule, if you will. Lots of fun things coming up for us. We did last week announce our next video game book club, our next game. And if you missed
I was
it,
supposed to
drum roll.
post that today. Forgot.
Oh, we can. I mean, it might confuse people because we just we're
Yeah,
sure
it's
it's not
okay.
It
technically
was
We'll do it
meant
after
to be
this.
forgotten
Yeah,
until
yeah.
this moment.
Yes. Jericho, what game are we playing next?
We're playing Resident Evil Requiem. Requiem.
I don't think we have the picture that Jericho
Oh.
made, but we will
Wait,
post.
do you
No,
have that
I mean, I
still?
could send it.
No, I had it from last time, didn't I? No, I
we
didn't.
did show it.
Oh,
No, we showed it last. Did we show it last time?
No,
I don't
no,
remember.
we got to show everybody this.
Okay.
It's
Oh
hard.
yeah.
Send it.
I can
Let me-
yap while you look it up.
Yeah,
Josh.
just yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do the
Listen,
house.
But
yeah,
yes.
Josh.
Oh,
Hey.
Gianni did this sub. All right, ready?
Oh. Ah.
Mine's still goat-like.
That's good. It's pretty good.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Oh my god. While
Gianni,
Josh is
did you have
getting
to
that-
look up how to spell bleats, or did you just know?
I definitely
It's
don't know how to
just-
spell that. You know I don't.
It's just cleats with a V.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, while Josh is getting that lovely photo that Jericho made, revealing our Resident Evil Requiem video game book club, which we have currently slotted 4 weeks for, just because they're usually bigger games, and we want to make sure that we have they're not like driving yourselves crazy trying to beat it, but it may end up being that, maybe a little more, a little less. But excited to play another brand new release with you guys. It comes out on Friday. Is that right? I think it comes out on Friday.
Yes.
It comes
It's
out
in
on Friday.
Discord, Josh. I sent it to you.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, Friday, Thursday at midnight, I'm sure. Maybe 11, depending on your time zone. I don't know how that works. Sometimes there's
Yeah.
games out at 10, 11, 12, 2 p.m. in an afternoon. Like, I don't know. But I think this one's midnight.
It's like the Black Friday of video game isms, where it's just gets earlier and earlier every year. I feel
And
like
just let the games come out early. A week early, please.
Speaking of Resident Evil, in the chat we have Blaster Goblin still throwing strays at Jericho.
What did he say?
He said,
Yeah.
"I'd stay and watch, but I'd rather watch sandpaper rubbing against my retina than Jericho
Oh my gosh.
podcasting."
I would rather have that on both my retinas at the same time, both of them, not just one retina, both. Instead of with I want you removed from the chat, or rub my retinas with sandpaper.
If you missed it, if you don't know the lore, Jericho has a public beef going on with Blaster Goblin.
It's very public.
It is. Is your journal nearby?
Oh yes, always.
We got the picture up for the audio listeners. It's basically the Resident Evil Requiem box art, but with our faces, and Jericho has some gnarly zombie teeth.
Those are hillbilly teeth from a costume. I found that on the internet and just put that in there.
So that's not Photoshop. That's how you look in that photo.
No, that's actually I photoshopped those
Okay.
teeth
I
on
see. I
my
understand.
but it wasn't. Those teeth aren't in the game. I didn't want to false advertise the game. If you're going for hillbilly teeth, which there might be, I'm the lady that's coming out of the doorway in that trailer. That's who I wanted to be in this shot.
And I like that Josh looks like he's in pain.
Yeah,
Like upset.
or sad, or like upset
Yeah.
about something.
Yeah, audio listeners, we'll have it posted on our socials.
Yes.
Hopefully by the time you hear this. So
Very true.
true art.
Very good, Jericho. It's one of my favorites of yours. You've done some really good ones. This one's really good.
Iconic. I know.
If you did miss it, Blaster Goblin did join us over on Drop In, Drop Out, which is our other podcast in our network of games and shows that we have going on. You can catch that on YouTube, podcasting platforms, where we basically go through. If you've been around JK Games for a long time, you may know that we did a different Resident Evil retrospective. So this was just another iteration on top of that. That was about I think that was 2-3 years ago that we did that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
but we did
and
an
I still
updated
think we talked about it for hours, just like we did 2 or 3 years ago. So, and there's more
Correct.
games since then. So,
Yeah, that's a good
You know.
point. So you can find that. That was a fun one. And then we also have on this upcoming week, we have some fun stuff going. Tomorrow night, we have more Resident Evil, if you're looking for some, on Spotlight Games with Blaster Goblin playing with Patrick, playing Resident Evil 6. Wednesday, we have Spotlight Games. Maybe a little French Dip might be in there. French Dip Design, who does all of our artwork. was recently on Drop In, Drop Out with us as well. So that was fun. He's been around. Make sure you go follow him if you don't already. Does great art if you need anything. And then on Thursday, Jerica and I will join Jordan, who's in the chat, Cognitive Clips, playing Marathon. Is it Flood the Server? I feel like a boomer when I say
Slam
stuff like
the
this.
server.
Slam the server.
Server slam.
The
Gosh.
flood, though, is a nice Halo reference. Also,
It is.
you know,
Deep cut, Kayla. For Bungie, you know?
that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be playing that night, and then Friday, we're moving the Drop In Drop Out podcast from Thursday to Friday, because like Jerica said earlier, Friday is Pokemon Day, which is very exciting.
Okay,
I think somebody's gonna be reacting to it. Is it you, Jerica? I can't remember who's.
I think
doing
me and Patrick are going to try to do it together.
Yeah,
Friday morning, bright and fucking early. So
Yeah.
you better, if we're there, you better join us in
Shouldn't
the
be
same
too long.
space.
Those are usually short.
Yeah,
They're short, but you know it's a big Pokemon year. You know it's the 30th
You know, sometimes
anniversary.
it'll be like, this is Pokemon Sleep. You know, and other times it'll be like something
And I'm
cool.
like,
So hopefully it's something
cool.
good. Not like a toothbrush or something.
I want
Jerica-
something big.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know this isn't like news, but I want to know because you're such a big Pokemon fan. Do you have any like big predictions for this?
Here's the deal. You sent me. You're so right. I'm one of the biggest Pokemon fans. Like I'm literally looking to get a Pokemon tattoo around this time. Like I need fat Pikachu on my arm. I want the
Really do.
chunkiest Pikachu I can find to put on my arm. Like retro Pikachu. I love that design for him. But I haven't loved a Pokemon game in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's not really a prediction because like anything that I think is going to happen with Pokemon, it never does. So I can't predict. So my hopes and dreams maybe would be a remake of like Pokemon Yellow, any of the original Red or Blue remake, 2D HD remake is truly
Okay.
all I want.
I was gonna say Fire Red and Leaf Green, but you mean more of a.
I want to go
Modern
Yeah, I
remake.
wanted to have the Octopath Traveler.
Did you play? Okay, that would be
Look.
cool. I was gonna say, did you play? Hey, what's that? Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu.
No, I know it's not the same thing. I
Not
know
the
it's
same, not
close,
the
but it's just gimmicks.
Okay.
I feel
I
like
see what you mean.
I don't even know. I'm not even talking facts here. It just seems gimmicky, and I'm sure it's cool and fun, but it's not Pokemon for my age.
You got the original
group.
Pokemon with that, yeah, Octopath pixel art looking thing. That'd be cool.
That's what I hope
Very
for.
exciting. Well,
Yeah.
you'll have to tune in to see. You can see Jerica be very excited for it on Friday and hear them talk about it on Friday.
Or extremely
exciting.
disappointed, which is probably
That's true.
more likely.
Something stupid or like, you know, but I will say that some of the, as someone who's not a knower, some of the art they've been releasing and like showing, I don't know if that's official, like stuff that they've been
Oh
sharing.
yeah, no,
but
there
I think
was.
it's
Yeah,
cute.
I mean-
they did like over 1,000 drawings for the 30th anniversary with the 30 and like all the
Listen.
different Pokemons.
As soon as the physical cards drop, I'm excited for the Pokemon trading card pocket game. I want to see what happens with Pokemon Go. I'm excited to buy physical cards for this set. I've been saving some money to buy something because I don't buy a lot of Pokemon cards, but I know 30th anniversary is going to pop off. So
Very exciting.
A lot
I
of
got
cool
some
stuff.
right here.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Oh.
Josh, we got to make this happen soon.
Yeah, I know. We have a long planned
good.
video. These are first gen.
Yeah,
First edition.
base set.
We got a long planned video or stream of something where we're going to go through our Pokemon cards, sort them, because I don't have them sorted.
Let's go
That would be
sort.
We
I
gotta
would
sort.
love to watch that. Chat,
Yeah.
would you guys like to see that?
That was the
I think
idea
I
that
would.
you could help moderate chat, be there, hang out.
I would love
and,
to
you know.
recreate Books a Million, like the train, like out of cardboard, and we can just sit on the train. I don't know if you traded Pokemon cards in Books a Million, but I did. And there's always that little train set up that all the kids would play on. And I just remember having my binder and like just trading and wheeling and dealing cards.
Cater Blossom votes for that too. So we're going to plan
Hi,
for that at
Kate.
some point. It's going to be like a JK Games in person. We'll have like juice boxes or Capri
So let's
Sun, whatever.
pretend we're kids in Books a Million.
Yeah. And then we're going to go
Why
through our
did-
Pokemon cards and show you like, look at this, look at this.
Why did I just like completely forget that we all like live very close to? I was like, in person, yeah, like
person.
Dino, 'cause we just did that. I was like,
Yeah, we're going to do this.
We see each other all the time. I
Wow.
saw Jerica today already. Just
Yeah, we did. Literally.
the lore.
Dodie Uwu says, I've been seeing what my cards are worth. Got some pretty cool ones. Yeah.
Ah, very
Also,
I haven't
Josh,
checked the value.
Me
Yeah.
and Josh are gonna, if we hear, we need to start planning like if there's an in card gathering where they're like grading cards on site.
Yeah,
I
I need to
go.
look into that. Like, sometimes they do them at cons where like PSA is there, like on site. We need to do
That's what I
something
want
like
to
that.
do. I don't want to mail them.
fun.
I don't
Scares
either.
me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to do a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. That's what I could participate in.
Do you have cards?
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't.
Oh, okay.
My brother Coleman does though.
Okay.
You could cosplay as Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we'll be Pokemon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That would be a full like Uno reverse card. Speaking of cards. Well, I think that's all I have for housekeeping. I just wanted to pick both of your brain about Pokemon for a second because I couldn't help it. But why don't we go ahead and, Jerica, take the wheel and let's dive into some Reanimal. Very exciting things to discuss. Lots of theories. The first part that we're going to go over is going to be spoiler free to my knowledge. So, Jerica, take it away.
Yeah, we'll put up a spoiler warning when we get to like story recaps near the end. But yeah, I sort of want to like, now that all of us have completed Reanimal. Is that correct? I didn't really ask anyone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was like, I think so, because we were all sort of like trying to figure out the ending.
Yes.
And I just put a Josh candy in my mouth, so I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh my gosh. Rare candy, like
LibertyFarms.com
Pokemon.
for all of your candy.
I should make a
good.
rare candy flavor. What flavor do you think rare candy
Yes.
would be?
I don't know why I'm thinking
Strawberry?
like a lemon lime,
A little brighter. Okay.
a little bright, like whoo, wakes you up.
Okay.
What does that candy do again for Pokemon?
Rare candy evolves them, doesn't it?
Okay, that's it. Or
Yeah.
it gives them
Yeah.
a level.
Something like that.
Like but yeah, they like level up. when
That's
they
what I
eat the
used
candy.
it for. But yeah, that makes sense. It would be a level.
Tell me why that would be the perfect like game candy too. Josh, you need to write that
Yeah,
down.
level up.
For
Level
those
up.
unfamiliar, I just I've sent the link to Josh's company.
Got some candy, got
which
some tea on there.
You can
Delicious.
get candy and tea, and it's all very good.
That's why I
And
saw
at
Jerica
one-
today. I was personally delivering candy.
That's why I
to
put a
her.
piece of candy in my mouth when you said that. I was like, oh yeah, I should move these.
Yeah.
Annie Hoodles.
Annie
Annie Hoodles. Let's talk about that Reanimal world, the atmosphere, the environments. I don't know why I'm getting real country with that, but
I
it is.
liked it though.
Well, all these little piggies and pelicans and what other animals were in this game?
There's a lot of Reanimals in this game.
A lot of Reanimaling.
I think there's some interesting
Reanimaling.
things with that. Not even, this is not spoilers. We're still not spoilers, but
Yeah.
I thought it's interesting. Like, yeah, there's like, it reminded me of Death Stranding. There's like these weird big animals or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. The animals in this game seem like they're immortal or they can't die or something.
Yeah, I
There's
know
something with that.
I slightly mentioned this in the first episode that we did. This is part 2. If you're listening, you should listen to part 1, especially if you're trying to get more of a feel for the vibe of the game. Part 1, we kind of dive into just like the general vibe, comparing to Little Nightmares, all that kind of thing. Dodie makes a good point. I saw some similarities to Indica, which I would agree with.
I've
Like
never
the
played.
overall.
Kayla just beat Indica.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was my
cool.
first game I beat this year, or like at the beginning of the month. I loved it, and I do agree. It's like this like unsettling kind of like undertone where it almost feels like you should know more than you do.
That's
Do you
definitely
guys feel
this.
that way? Yeah.
Yeah, because it definitely drops you in, and you are most of the time. And Little Nightmares was like this a little bit, but it's kind of it drops you in, and you feel like there is something being told, but they don't really tell you like what that is, so you kind of have to interpret things.
Yeah. The Indica is definitely that way. And like I feel like the ending is pretty laid out as far as like what it's trying to tell you, more so than Reanimal. But I could see the comparisons for sure. But yeah, lots of animals towards the second half. Like I would say like I don't really feel like they were as involved
Yeah.
in the first half. Would you guys agree? Because I feel like where we left off was pretty much halfway.
We left off, there wasn't too many, but there was that big monster I was trying to figure out how to get past in the water.
Which also reminds me of Death Stranding, just like
Yeah.
massive, like
And it turns out like
BTs.
how that thing looks, it kind of looks like the big lamb, but like very skeletal and like
a deer.
yeah,
Or
or
like,
something. But it seems like it can't die. Even when you kill it, it's not really dead. And then you have to do something to it, and it's still like not dead. It just seems like none of the animals in this like can die really. Even like the big pig and everything. He talks, which is weird. So there's a lot of weird stuff in this.
This will not spoil Josh, but it made me think of Attack on Titan. Josh, you need to watch Attack on Titan. It made me think of something
Don't worry,
in regards to that. But I won't get into it. I almost did. I'm like, oh, you know what this reminds me of? But yeah, it is really fascinating that like maybe because it's called Reanimal, you would think there'd be animals everywhere in this world, but it's not really. There's like a set piece animals throughout the different areas you're like in. So like the first one that I'm just like immediately thinking of was like the pelican. Like I don't even know what kind of bird it was. It seemed pelican-esque to me.
It looked like a pelican.
Yeah. It had like a huge ball sack on its chin or something. It was gross.
It was like the pelican beak thing, but it was very like mutated.
Yes.
Some growth was on it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was sort of, thought animals would be more of a cornerstone to this game. And not as many animals as I thought there would be.
I do think that and this is kind of touching on like later things in a way, not really. Like I definitely think they represent something else. Like, definitely. And I talked about how I touched on this last week, but like the like lambs specifically like represent like a purity, like almost like a pure soul. So kind of almost like to me, it kind of parallels the childlike essence of like you following these children around. Jake twitching with a nice raid. Welcome in, Raiders.
Shit.
Hello. We are hi, we're JK Games. If you're new, we are talking Reanimal. This is our second episode of our video game book club that we do where we cover different games. Next week we're starting Resident Evil Requiem. So if you're into that, you should play along with us. Kind of the whole vibe is that you're here to play alongside us, chat as we play, figure out what we think is going on.
We finished Reanimal. We're reviewing this sucker tonight.
You missed the amniotic fluids because I have a sheep here right outside my door that gave birth to a lamb.
Like physically.
Right? I have an actual baby lamb.
Real life.
Right when I beat Reanimal. So I'm scared.
Yeah. I asked
it's
him to stream
ARG.
it, but it might be too much for Twitch. I don't know if it's illegal to stream
miracle
like
of life.
baby. It's life.
It's just life.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The game of life. I love the game of life.
Yeah, let's put that as a category.
The
It's like a sheep giving birth.
But don't worry that we're not in spoilers yet. We'll put up a warning when we're in spoilers. Jake said insane level of immersion.
It really is.
Yeah, so we're just talking like broad strokes right now, so don't worry. But yeah, I definitely think like the animals, this game went in a direction that I did not expect it to go. And that's what I'll say for now.
Very surprising. I was like,
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have thoughts on that. We'll talk
this
about
game, it's lucky I'm a little smart, but I'm like, man, I was really wanting it to be dumbed down a little bit. And I was like, okay, I see what's happening here. Y'all are telling this story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, like I would never want the studio to shy away from telling a story in an atmosphere that's any different than this. Like, I love how dark, gross, gritty, and just like you never see any light really, unless it's like a fluorescent light in a creepy ass warehouse that's helping you avoid detection from a skin crawler or whatever these beings are. Little Nightmares was very similar, just dark environments, scary, creepy. Like nothing ever seems optimistic. I love my games to be depressing. I like an environment that looks like, and for this game, it like really amplifies the story because like you're just constantly feeling like there's no hope, and you're finding, you don't know what has happened, but you're looking and you're finding friends that they're all like, why are you here? Why are you coming back? But you're going back for your friends and you're trying to rescue them, get them out of this fortress, I guess. We'll debrief on that later, but just the environment's constantly fighting you and it's scary. So for me personally, like the world, atmosphere, environment, like is one of my favorite things about this game.
I would agree.
Depressingly pretty.
How do you think it compares to like now that it's complete or you beat it? What do you think about the tone compared to Little Nightmares as far as like the overall tone?
I feel like it's real to me. It's still very similar. Like I don't think they took any big swings with. To Kayla's point from last week, like I don't think they took a lot of risk with this one. I saw like near the end where they maybe innovated here, and I'm like, I wonder if they could have went further with co-op in this particular situation. But overall, like I think they stuck to what they knew in very similar tone. I feel like to Little Nightmares. I don't think it was any scarier, any darker, really, to me. Maybe like a smidge. They went up like one notch, but it wasn't like so outside of that where I'm like, oh, wow, this is very dark compared to Little Nightmares. I never felt that.
It started off seeming maybe like it would be in the first parts, but then, yeah, I feel like it's maybe similar, pretty similar.
I don't know. I think I disagree about the end. Like the couple of like towards the very, so Giannis said, but I think the last hour would never existed.
We'll talk about that for sure.
So I think up until then, yes, but some of
that's my notch up moment. I'll say that because I'm like, gosh, Jericho's like numb to it all. I'm like, that was the notch up moment. Was the very end.
Yeah. But I think overall, if you are a fan of Little Nightmares, just like we said last week, like you would be a fan of this for sure. Because the bones and the structure is still there from what they created with Little Nightmares. So yeah, I agree pretty much with everything about tone, environment, world, and stuff.
I do have a gripe.
Okay.
And I touched on it last week a little bit. And we can come back to any of my points I had before, but like for me, like in terms of gameplay, we talked about this amazing environment that is larger than Little Nightmares. Like the areas you are exploring, even towards the end, like really open up. And we talked about last week, the area right before you go into the theater, you're going to different rooms, you're going outside, in between buildings. Mm-hmm. I feel like that was way more open than Little Nightmares 1. And I played like half of 2, but it's definitely, that was a larger scale initiative here with this game for sure. But I did still, even with that being said, I still felt extremely funneled. And I sort of talked lightly about it last week, but I kept feeling that way the whole game. And I was hoping it would at least give me some freedom. So let me explain. Once again, you have these larger open areas with set pieces, like a lot of a cart, a stack of rocks, like all these things that are in this world. But I can't sometimes use them for cover, or I can't move this, but I wish I could. I feel like they are literally, the playground is there, the tools, literally, and I don't get to have freedom with how I get from point A to B. And sometimes point A to B isn't clear either, which doesn't help. And I found myself getting frustrated. I'm like, man, I feel like it's funneling me this way, but I want to go this way. And if Josh, you found like a couple of things I never found one casket with a little ghost.
Same.
Because I felt like I couldn't tell when it was worth exploring outside of the funneled experience, if that makes sense.
That's actually one of my biggest gripes as well, because even though I did find some, like I did find the caskets, and actually we could talk about this later, but if you find them all, there's a secret ending.
Oh wow.
It's not much, but yeah. But so yeah, there's a lot of lore with those.
Damn
but,
it.
It's not much. I could just describe it to you. It's not really like worth probably doing it again unless you want to replay it. But I was trying to get more masks. I missed so many masks, and I felt like I was like exploring, but I had some frustrations, like you're saying, where, especially in the orphanage is a good example. There seemed to be like all these doors or ways I could go. And so I'm like, okay, I want to explore. But then I would pick a door to explore. And then like, that's the way you're supposed to go. And I couldn't go backwards. And that happened to me like multiple times in this game, where I felt like I was given 2 or 3 options to pick a direction, go through a crack or a door. So I'd pick one, hoping it's the exploration one, but then it would be like some event would happen, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, now I can't go. There's probably a mask over there. Yeah, so I agree with you where sometimes it's nice that there's like a linear thing, but they did present this to have like some exploration or like open areas, and it did
Sometimes
lead
you
to
can.
some of my most frustrating moments was knowing that I missed something because I chose the wrong way, which was the right way.
Which is, oh, I hate that. I hate when that
Yeah.
happens. Makes me
Yeah.
so mad.
I do think too, like I know Gianni in the chat is being like, letting us know like that the coffins tie the lore together, and Josh mentioned that.
Yeah.
But to me, like a gripe that I have about that is if that's the case, it should be easier to find them, or like more clear that you need to get them. Would be my like critique on that.
'Cause
Because
I
I
don't
felt the
think-
same way, totally different, almost like opposite issue with like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, about how like you have to find what are they the things you have to find with the lore?
Tears, right?
The tears, the dragon tears, Jerica.
Yeah, that's
Is that right?
You have to find
Yeah.
the Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, but like they don't make that super clear that that's
It's not like
the
step
story
one.
pieces. Yeah,
Do this. This is an option. Yeah.
yeah. And if it's an option, then like, and it tells like the whole story, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I feel like if it was gonna, I don't know. There's a line.
No.
I like people to be. I like developers to be innovative, or like not necessarily have to spell everything out for you, but it needs to be a little bit like more apparent if you're like doing something wrong or like missing
Or, like,
something.
Give you an easy one up front. Like, I feel like I didn't find.
Yes, that's great.
I found like
That's
a
great
goat.
point.
Not a goat. It's probably a lamb. Or was it a rabbit? It was some
The
kind of other
statues, the
shrine.
shrine. Yeah, there's
I
multiple
f-
of those. That's in the
I
did
found
find
one of
those.
those. Like, I feel like maybe they give you like a couple of easy ones to know, like, okay, you should be, there's going to be more of these.
Yeah, that's
It's like, a few hours in, I find one. I'm like, cool, I probably missed a lot of those. And Kayla, when you brought up like, the frustration with this, it made me think like, it does suck because I don't think you can do like chapter select, because I tried, because I was like, cool, I want to go back and see if I missed anything, or like, because there, to Josh's point, there was a couple of doors I couldn't get back to, and I'm like, I want to see what was in there. I didn't see an
haven't
option
tried
for
this,
chapter.
but I heard that if you start a new file, because there's like save slots, after you beat it, if you pick a new save slot, you could choose which chapter.
Okay, good. Okay,
Oh,
thanks
okay.
for.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's also not clear.
Not clear.
They're also
No,
not
yeah,
clear
it's not
about starting a game in co-op or not, which I found
Right.
out you can pick up and play co-op if you start a single player experience. It's not really clear. If you, it makes it feel so permanent when you pick, like when you start your game, if you're playing single or with someone else. But you can, in fact, add a friend to your party later on, which
Yeah.
I absolutely did.
I was gonna say, you mentioned this to us, like with you and Audrey playing, like, but how do you feel like it positively affected your experience, like changing into this like more co-op role, especially at the time that you did? Because when you did, was it like a very pivotal like moment with using the other character? Do you feel like it added to your experience?
Oh yeah. Like, I don't think we could have picked a better time, because like, and I honestly was so thankful. I was just like, really, I was like, there's a way. Because like, she's just watching me play. I'm like, I really want to play this with you right now. Like, I need some help. Like, I want someone to be on this journey with me. And it was right when you like, you'll know, like you fall down a hole, and not a huge spoiler, but you're like
Yeah.
chained together
Yeah.
with your sibling. And I don't even know if they're siblings for real. I think they are.
I don't know. I
don't ever
maybe.
say it
Friends.
explicitly.
You're connected to your player number 2, and I was like, God, this looks so cool. I really want to play this with Audrey. I'm like, there's got to be a way I can add like co-op, turn it on. All you had to do was just like pick up another controller, turn it on, but you still had to select like co-op. It's in there. You have a way of doing it.
Yeah.
So we got it to work, and yes, like there is a huge night and day difference with playing this game by yourself and with someone else. I think that it's a whole other experience when you are just having to communicate with someone else now, and you sort of get to choose. You're more in control of your game, honestly, than what you were if you're playing by yourself. So when we were chained together, I had the best time. I'll have to post this clip, but like as soon as like we had to like you were, I guess when you were under like when you fell down the hole and like when you were like walking across like this brittle road, like, and it was basically like you one wrong step in the road was just crumbling underneath you, but you couldn't walk on it together because it would weigh too much and you just fall through. So y'all had to like, or me and Audrey had to like carefully walk around. Imagine being like tethered together and like make sure that we both are on our own paths to the other side without both stepping on the same platform. And it was so much fun.
I died a lot there, single player.
And just like real life. And just like real life, she walks faster than me because she's a little bit taller. And literally she was walking faster and forgot about me and drug me over the side of the cliff, you know? So that's the kind of extra like additive that you get when you're playing with a real person in this world, because now you're having to tell someone don't go yet until the coast is clear. So definitely worth playing with someone else. I don't think they do enough with like taking advantage of co-op and like one player
That's what I was thinking,
a task while the other one does something else. There's none of that though, which was
it's just legends and stuff. Because I did single player and I was thinking that now I was like, if this was co-op, if I was playing with someone, I mean, it's fun to like experience it together, I guess, but there wasn't like a ton of, like you're saying, dual puzzles, split fiction style.
I will say, just like not devil's advocate, but like a reverse to that is I do feel like some of it does punish you for not having another person. Only, I guess, a couple sections though, like that section that we're talking about, I struggled with a lot. And then also like in the boat, I did, guys. Oh. I have a confession.
Hey.
Are you ready? I did play controller for the second half of this game.
Whoa!
Wow. What happened?
The whole second half.
The whole second half. After
was that tied together part?
Yeah, that did it for me. I couldn't do it, and I was so mad. And honestly, I'll be, and I'm not doing this just for the bit, because last week, if you missed it, I was very adamant against like using a controller. Thank you, Kate. Aww.
Wow, so supportive.
I'm very keyboard and mouse pilled now that like since I've had my PC, and my brain just has a hard time like having the controller and like switching from controller to keyboard. I just don't like the whole process. I'll lose everything. Like ADHD brain.
We got options. We got Xbox. We got PlayStation. We got Switch.
Amazing.
We're using PlayStation, right?
Yes, I did do PlayStation. I genuinely don't think it changed my experience very much, and I'm like saying that honestly. Like if it did, I would say it. Hunter, my husband, had to beat that section for me. We tried co-op and it still didn't help. I feel like I had a really hard time in that section. Gianni agreed in the chat, so I don't feel as bad.
I done a lot. Yeah. But I done a lot in this game in general, but I done a lot there.
Yeah, it was tough. And I will also, this is another just gripe. It takes too long to load back up after you die.
I know. I
dislike it.
Especially if you're like at some part where you're dying a lot and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I've become like a spoiled brat in the field of like load screens, and it's tough. It takes too long, and then you have to wake up your little kid, like you're sitting down.
I do think it's cute when it loads back up and they're like sitting down, but it does get annoying after like 4 in a row, you know?
Yes. But I think that's all my gripes for this section, at least. Sure. I have lots of good things to say, but you know, it's not a true review if we don't give you the good and the bad and the ugly. Well, you know?
Something that you said too made me think like, I wish they sort of just would have committed to this requiring co-op, you know? Like, it seems like they were sort of tethered to basically like, we still have to make a great first person or single player experience, which I get. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if maybe that was the issue with some of the, because at this point you're like, why would you even have co-op with the lack of like, more really situations where it does require both parties to communicate. Because the only thing that I feel like me and Audrey really communicated with was like, okay, don't go yet. Okay, it's not looking, run. It was never like, hey, turn that, because like I have Destiny brain and doing raids and like talking about like you impacting another part. Maybe I'm turning the wheel to the right side. Imagine the big like tank, right? That's in the middle of that space, or like whatever drop. Is that a tank? It's a tank, a moving tank missile.
The tank. It was a tank.
Yeah, whatever. Like imagine if you had to control that, in which that creates a whole other obstacle with camera angles and having to split that up. But I don't know, like I just hate that they couldn't do more with like two people, like a 2-person game, other than just y'all sort of making sure you walk together.
Well, Gianni in chat agrees with you. Yes, I think giving the buddy pass for free felt like a reasonable compromise for acquiring co-op. Should have been mandatory.
Yeah. And I think, Gianni, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you play it? Was it you? Did you play co-op? I can't remember. I know you streamed some of it. I tried to not watch, so I wouldn't spoil
remember
myself.
It was like the first day, it was him and Chris, Nerdlies, and they had a hard time doing cross-platform.
That's right. Yeah. Which, that's a whole other thing. Like, I've heard that there's been some like bugs with like online co-op. But yeah, I think that I like the steps towards like innovation with this developer, with Tarsier, and some of the changes that they're making. But I do think it feels a little clunky still, which Little Nightmares does have some clunk to it though, just as like a whole franchise, which I find it endearing and I really still enjoy it. But hello, welcome back, Hama Tenko. I think I said that right. Welcome back.
Hope you beat it, because we're going to be talking about the ending soon. We're still no spoilers yet.
Still in no spoilers, but that's I think that's all for me as someone who didn't play the co-op, just like my qualms about that experience. But
Let's see,
did you ever play with anyone? The lamb?
No,
the
just
lamb?
Me.
You
the
have a
lamb
baby
that
lamb.
was born outside could have helped.
Yeah.
What if I was like holding it, trying to play or something?
That'd be so cute.
Scary.
You got to post a photo somewhere.
I'll do
really
something
funny.
maybe
Is
tomorrow.
it the same color? Like
yeah, it looks
brown?
exactly the same. Yeah, they're kind of brown. Their undercoat is kind of brown, and but they'll get like more like of a white kind of a wool.
I was like, oh, I thought it was like you'd have different like cats.
There's gray
like
and black sheep,
sorry, I
Baba
didn't
black
mean to
sheep, you know. No, but we have a certain breed, so it's only like white wool on ours.
Okay.
Have you any wool?
Exactly.
I have to be careful. I don't know. Is that like bad? I want to make sure I'm not
I
saying.
don't think so.
You know, a lot of those,
you never know.
like,
Some of the old nursery rhymes. Good
Yeah,
point.
especially
bad,
us being,
yeah.
you know,
might be right.
from the South, little
Yeah.
songs.
You might
I'm
be
like,
right.
I'm
You
not
might be
singing
right.
that. I don't know
Correct.
what that
I think
means.
that one's okay, but you might be right.
I think if I had to put a bow on my personal, like, spoiler-free thoughts, I think that, and I said this last week, but I'll say it again. If you like Little Nightmares, you will love this. If you don't like Little Nightmares, I don't think you will like this. If you just actively don't
That's
like
fair.
Little Nightmares already. If you are someone who has never played Little Nightmares, but you like a short, unsettling experience that makes you think, is very thought-provoking, without necessarily laying everything out for you, and you like that like feeling of tension, having that like dark and gritty kind of like backdrop, with an ambiguous narrative, then I think this is for you, in my opinion.
I
What else?
agree.
Anybody else have anything before we dive in?
No, I think you summarized it perfectly. That's it. Like, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it is more of pretty much what you love about Little Nightmares.
Yeah.
Tradman Man,
Josh?
hello. I don't know if I said hello to you or if this is the first time I've seen you in chat. Wanted to say hello.
I like I like this a little bit more. It is very similar. So like, I agree totally. Like if you didn't like it, then, you know, you probably wouldn't like this, but I liked this. Just my general thought is I like the tone, and the gameplay was fun, and the visuals was very nice, and the audio was like transcendent sometimes, because I was wearing headphones. And some of the best sound design in a game I played recently, just like there's light music sometimes, but just with the sound effects of like the spatial sound of everything, like when you're in a room and maybe there's some kind of just ambient noise, and then you go to the next room, but you can still kind of hear what's going on in the room to your left.
That's cool. I love that. I
And
didn't
just
play
like
with headphones.
all the
so I missed
crunchy
that.
little, it's ground sounds and wind, and later some of the more intense kind of sounds. Just incredible sound design in this game. And Jerica had sent us some like behind the scenes
I was like, I'm so
making
glad
of
you
video.
said this because I totally forgot about it. I was like, please talk about the video. Please talk about the video.
It was crazy. I was like, what am I watching? Because this dude was like boiling deer hooves, right?
Like,
and this is the sound designer of the game, I guess.
I was like,
and
imagine being a family member of that individual. Yeah, the sound designer, and being like, Billy, why are you boiling deer legs? I thought you worked on video games. I'm like, it's for a game.
It's one of the devs. He's like boiling the deer legs and then skinning them and cutting little toenails off and getting the bones and clean the bones and making like a deer bone rattle. And he's like recording it and hitting it on things and then putting that sound in the game, you know, like you could probably just do that digitally, you know, I don't know, but
that's
maybe
what my
not.
girlfriend said. I watched it. She's like,
well,
he's doing way too much. I feel like
maybe
you can
not
recreate
though, because I don't know,
that.
something about the sound design. This game is just really good. It stands out. So maybe all these analog kind of sounds. It's a very good sounding game.
Haven't heard that sound before.
Maybe
it's
not.
just it's a
bone
new
rattle,
sound.
You know?
I put the link in the chat if anyone's interested. Did it have any spoilers in it? Do you guys know?
No.
I don't think it was just like a sound leg boiling video.
Oh my god!
I bet that
Did you
does
watch
not
it?
smell good.
No, I didn't.
I was like, Hannah's gonna hate this video
Oh, my bad.
because he's got the little feet with the fur and like. Oh,
We watched a lot of and play a lot of scary things. You're scared of some boiled deer legs?
No, I don't like seeing the animals. Yeah, this is fake.
Are they ethically sourced? You know.
Unless they were dying
I feel
already.
like he pulled them right out of the fridge. Where did you get these?
I don't know.
Where did you get those?
I mean, there's hunters everywhere, you know.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Hama has a great question. Do you guys see Reanimal turning into a franchise like Little Nightmares? Who wants to take this one first? Good question.
I think you could, just based on, you know, again, we won't talk about exactly the ending yet. We'll do ending theories at the end.
Hey, we're about to get
talking about
there
spoilers
next.
yet. Yeah, soon.
It's close.
I think you could. I don't know if they would want to. I think it'd almost be interesting to just keep doing new ideas with this format. I think that would be almost more interesting to me. Because like, okay, you have Little Nightmares and then you have this very similar. I'd like to do another kind of similar thing, but maybe a different kind of world, you know, be interested.
I agree. Like, you know, I just said like, I like that they're sticking to a desolate, moody world that's scary. But yeah, it'd be fun to sort of see how they could still keep that maybe tone. But yeah, like let's not be somewhere gross maybe for the next game. But I'm also for them continuing like a Reanimal sequel. Like I feel like there's more to this story. And I do feel like with what we sort of experienced with co-op and the expanding of the different environments and with gameplay, it's like I feel like they had to cut out a lot from this game. Like maybe I'm glad it delivered and I'm glad it landed where it landed, but I do feel like they were holding themselves back still a little bit with some of the things they probably could have done and what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I would play another game if this was an exact franchise and like it had a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I would play it. I would play something set in this world, like adjacent. I would play something else by this dev, obviously. But I don't think they will. I don't think so either. I think it's intentionally designed to be what it is, and like live on its own, breathe on its own. So, yeah. And then welcome in. It's Jordan OMG. So nice to see you.
Jordan.
Happy Monday. Hello. We are talking Reanimal, and we are about to get into spoilers. But if you're curious about how it goes, or if you don't want spoilers, just as a heads up, that's happening soon.
I will say there's not much to spoil because it is pretty really ambiguous.
It is honestly, yeah. Like if there's any game, if you're like not sure about it, but you want to be careful of spoilers, like this one is. There's really not much to spoil aside from what we think is going on.
I guess that is a spoiler. It's ambiguous.
They left this game where it's like, we're gonna have to discuss what we think is happening, and we could all have three different answers.
It's the perfect book club game.
It actually is.
Because this is why you need a book club, so you can figure out, hey, what did y'all think about that? I need y'all to tell me what you took away from this, because I'm a little lost.
Yeah, I totally should have sent it in our Discord for people to give us answers, but I really think not a ton of people that are in our circle have played this game. And if they have, they're in the chat right now. So thank you for being here.
You're here.
And definitely let us know if you're watching and you have played. We want to know your thoughts too. So yeah, let's go first.
Well, let's see. Do we have topics for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
well,
have like
that's the big surprise, right? Is like we were playing this game and it turns into like Call of Duty or something.
That's it. That's my standout moment was like, oh, this is war. This is recreating, or this is definitely a memory. Like, are these kids like having memories at this point? And is this real life? That's what, I was sort of thinking. Because like they're in a battlefield, and honestly didn't feel like there was any trigger warnings with some of this because I didn't know like that. Yeah,
it's pretty intense.
That's where the tonal shift. I was like, damn, this is a little intense here. If you're sensitive to, I can try to best way to describe it, like self-harm, war, even like some of the audio design to me was like, shit, this is brutal. To your point, Josh, like the atmosphere and the music, I was like, why does this feel more intense than like Call of Duty right now?
Yeah.
I think that it's because of the design of the game. Like it's very like brash, like if that makes sense. Like it's very like the way that the sound and the way that like you're viewing the gameplay, because also like you're operating a child that's seeing this, like that you're a small person. Because one thing that we've touched on, and that I think Little Nightmares specifically does a lot with, is making you feel small and like being very intentional about making you feel small, and like that all these things are happening around you and are happening to you. I think Reanimal does a little bit different with that because you do have some agency. You're not just like in Little Nightmares, you can't really fight back at all. Whereas in Reanimal, there is a little bit of like fighting back you can do. You have some weaponry, which I was very excited about because you don't really get that in Little Nightmares aside from like maybe a pipe. But in Reanimal, you end up having like a gun, like an actual gun,
pretty much
towards the end.
A little bit.
Yeah, or you're operating a machine, like you're able to have more like impact on your surroundings. But it's still like when you get to this section, definitely a standout moment that made me go, whoa, what are we doing?
Trev Mammon brings up a good point in chat that's worth a discussion, which is, where do you all go to check if there's trigger warnings or content warnings? ESRB isn't enough.
It's a good point, because like I feel like for a lot of games that I play, the warning will be there verbatim, but I guess or like before I play. But was there any of that here in the game and I just missed it? Because like I didn't see it, and I was like,
this comes up all the time in the book space too.
Yes.
Okay. So I was like, do we just rely on ESRB? Because like I thought maybe it was a requirement to also have it before you hit start, right? Or before you get to a certain section. But maybe that's not a requirement.
It's not.
It's a good question.
It's not. And it's unfortunate, in my opinion. You guys, I think I was off the week that you guys talked about this a good bit.
Oh, we did. We had a whole podcast about this.
Yeah.
Not really about like what's supposed to be in like the ratings though. Like we didn't get specific with it. I just thought it was necessary to have before the game. And maybe some people just failed at doing that. But I didn't know there was like not a requirement. There's not apparently.
I remember something, and it's not really there is something, and it's not really about the content. There's something about like the lights that can cause seizures.
Yeah, epilepsy warnings are in front of the game sometimes. Yeah.
In this one it was, and it said something about that, and it said something about like intensity, but it didn't get specific. I think that Cater Blossom, welcome. I love that you are sharing your opinion on this. Said it's always best when games provide content warnings before the menu, but it's kind of rare. Yeah. I think we're getting to a space where that's getting better. But I do think more people need to be on board. I think
this
a lot
one
of
needed
people
it.
Yes.
It needed
And
it.
I
feel
think like it's the easiest thing because I know some people they view content warnings as spoilers, but there's so many ways around that because you could literally in an accessibility menu just have an option to view content warnings or something for people who want to check that. You know, that'd be so easy from the main screen options. You know, view content warnings or something because this one probably could have used a couple, especially with like the self-harm and stuff. Pretty
Yeah.
graphic.
It was just really that last section. I was like, this took a drastic turn on what I, you know, if it not shook me, but I was just like, wow, that felt drastic, or this feels a little different than
It's a bit
the whole
shocking,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a little
Now,
shocking. I was like, wow.
Now, to be fair, I still enjoyed. Enjoyed
Oh, yeah,
is
I did
not
too.
a
The
right
whole-
I know what
word
you're
to
saying.
say.
The whole
but
last hour is it's really
It's not.
fun.
You could tell it's not done in a way to be glorifying.
Correct,
It's done in a
yes.
way that's a message. There's a message to it. Well, at least my
'Cause what-
interpretation.
I mean,
I
we're getting-
can't. I don't
like,
know
feel
for
like
sure, but
what
that's
these
what my
kids have
interpretation.
that's
was.
what they've experienced, or that's how they're perceiving the world around them. And like,
yeah,
obviously, it's this whole city has been destroyed by war.
To me, yeah, this section, like, not in the in-game sense of things, but to me, viewing this as like a piece of art or whatnot. I don't know. I haven't read too much what Tarsier Studios was going for with it, but to me, what I would interpret as them kind of putting this section in, it reads like, yeah, the horrors of war on not just everyone, but on children as well, and the impacts of that, and kind of like maybe like the Hunger Games or something like that reads like that, right? That's kind of the point of the Hunger Games is like the impact and horrors of war on children specifically. And so just the fact that you're these vulnerable children running through these horrific war scenes and it just gets worse and worse and worse and the franticness of it. That's what it felt like to me is like what the kind of the message of this section was, just kind of reiterating how terrible it is.
yeah. To really quick to like, I know we're kind of talking about it adjacently now, but I do think like should be taken very seriously. Like Travis Man in the chat said that was going to watch Ginger Snaps with a friend and we had to stop the movie because of self-harm because it's such a huge deal. Yes. And I think like there's never a reason why a content warning wouldn't be helpful to anyone. Like if you just don't want to look at it, then you just don't have to look at it as far as like a content warning goes. So I'm all for, I think everyone should have them in their game if there's any sort of mature content, but unfortunately it's not a requirement at this time.
Yeah.
But I think we're making positive strides.
Those moments, it wasn't just like one moment either. It was multiple times,
multiple.
like through that whole encounter too. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
And it's the sense of like you said now, and from the in-game context, just to be clear, it's like they're running through like a wartime scene, and sometimes there's snipers firing at you that you can't. The sound effects are cool, but sometimes you're running through trenches. It's kind of World War II style, like uniforms and trenches. But the people, they look not quite like zombies, but there's something's off about them too.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not quite real, but they seem like morphed or mutated a little bit, like these soldiers. It almost feels like some kind of purgatory type situation where they're in this loop a little bit. It feels like.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
personally.
And so you're running as kids and the horrors of it, a lot of these people in the trenches, you almost think they're going to be enemies, but they end up sometimes turning their weapons on themselves in very gruesome graphic manner. And sometimes it'll be maybe an explosive, like an incendiary or a grenade. Instead of throwing it at you though, they're just blowing themselves up or different things like that. So it kind of flips your expectation because you expect you do get shot at some by snipers, but these soldiers you're interacting with end up being like harming themselves and not you. And so that adds a lot of weirdness to how you feel about it too when you're playing. Because normally enemies are trying to attack you, but it's almost like you can't do anything to stop them either. So it's a real intense situation.
Yes. And I think that the context is important because I do agree that I have in certain media, because like, I mean, I've talked about this before. This is something I'm very passionate about, but I think that there is cases where you can kind of tell they're like showing it for shock value. And while I do think like that probably was kind of like what they were going for, it makes sense in the context of the game. But it was abrupt. It was abrupt though. But yeah, I thought this section was incredibly well done. I think it adds a lot to the like tension. You're running through this like big moment, trying not to get caught. It does still have kind of like what Jerica had critique on earlier with the funneling. I do feel like I felt that a lot in this section. Because I do think there's like ways you could have gotten around things that should have worked but didn't, because you didn't go this exact like little millimeter one way or the other. I feel like I had that sometimes. But yeah, this section, I played, when I got to this section, I was like, I need to talk to Jerica and Josh about this, because we had left off last week.
Mhm.
I think Jerica posed the question, like, are there other people here? Where are the adults? Oh, brother, there they are. There they are. They're here. But yeah, I think it's a wild section.
You bring up a good point, because now that I'm thinking of like why any resemblance of an adult in this game like looks unhuman, or they're wearing like a skin suit, like they're not human, but they're trying to pretend to be human. So like last week I was thinking, oh, aliens, right? But now I'm like more in the vein of like, is this how these kids are like visualizing what they experience?
Like they're
traumatized,
traumatized, so this is how they're seeing things.
Yeah, so as soon as that sort of switch went off in my head as we were going through that whole environment, because like I'm playing with Audrey at this point too, and as far as like co-oping goes, that's where we did have a lot of fun, like both of us trying to time. Of course, she'd always be ahead of me, so I'd be like, "Don't go any further. Stop, and I can slide by and not get shot at. But I did start thinking about like, why are these environments changing? They're a little drastic. Is this grounded in reality or not? Or is this what these kids just went through and they're all dead? You know, like I'm not trying to get to the end really soon, but I'm just like, man, this is a much sadder game, and I really hope there was a real sheep at the end of this. For sure, I think there was, which is pretty fun. Thank you.
I feel like these kind of like next sections. I also loved the very end, like the giant like sheep spider thing. I think that was like the scale. I feel like was very
It turns
well done.
into like a sheep snake by the end of it. It's crazy.
It's like the beginning of Spider-Man 2 with the Sandman. That's what this whole
that Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man 2.
Me too, because I've only seen 1 and 2.
It was just like growing in size, the lamb spider thing, and it was incredible. Also really hard to drive the car. For Audrey, she was driving, I was shooting. No, I was driving, she was shooting.
I did very good at that part, actually. It was fun. Remember Crash Bandicoot running towards the camera sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did a lot of
exactly
what you mean.
Yeah.
I didn't like the section where it's poking in the room and you have to like throw the, what's it called? The little little spears.
Not a harp.
That you have to throw in the room. That was tough for me.
With the mole thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a boss fight.
Yeah. Okay, what do you guys think about the underwater section? First of all,
I think I'm so glad. I almost forgot about that. How could I forget?
Well, it was short, but I have a thing about underwater sections in games. Here's my rant. Ever since, first of all, like think about Sonic on the Genesis, you fall in the water. It's like annoying. Think about this with Mario. Okay, Mario 1, 2, Super Mario World. They always have these water levels. Like, oh, it's classic. You take a game. What's fun about Mario? What's fun about Sonic? The movement, jumping around, running. Sonic, you're running fast. Oh, I know. Let's put him in the water where you're just super slow and you can barely do anything that's fun about the game. So here we go. I'm like, oh no, here we go. Here's the water part in this game. So the same thing. It's like, okay, now I'm just like super slow. It wasn't that long though in this. So I will say it was very short.
But my thing is like, I think it makes sense to add another layer of like complexity to a platformer more type game, which that's not necessarily what this is. But
I sometimes just like get sick of the trope. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, here we go. It's a water part. I know what's going to happen. You're just going to be slow and floaty and can't do anything. You know,
that's
it's like,
fair. Because I don't think it had any purpose.
My personal enemy. It's like everyone feels like they got to add this in. But who wants this? Who wants to be slow in a game where you're normally not slow?
Now, to be fair, most of the game you are on top of the water, so it kind of does make sense that at some point you would go into the water.
I think it's cool.
But-
Well, I like the audio. Like again, I've been talking about the audio this whole time, and so
Yeah.
the audio was really good in that part, and it was short. It was short. I was
think
worried
both
though.
of
I was like,
you-
how long is this going to be?
Bring up great points, but I think I'm so glad you brought up the underwater area, Kayla. I did enjoy putting on the scuba suits.
It was cute.
That
Yeah.
was awesome. I love that part.
Did you go back and get the? Did you pick it up as a helmet?
I did.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Making sure.
I do think the underwater encounter that you have. One, this is a side note. Like, what the hell did they need that eyeball for? I forgot that. I need help on that. Put a pin in that for a second. But I do think the whole encounter underwater was just like something that they could do, and I feel like they wanted to do more with. That was one of those instances. I'm like, I bet they wanted to do
And maybe
more
some
with
cut.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
some new ways
You're
of
probably right.
doing the puzzles, new ways of working with your partner. Like, you just feel like there's just a taste. It's like they put it in the scene because they could. To Josh's point, it was just an underwater experience to change it up a little bit. Was it necessary? No, I don't think it moved the plot really. I don't think it was did anything for gameplay. But I think they had worked on it. I don't think it was. I hope that there was more to be said for that encounter, and maybe we would have maybe done it again at some point in the game, because I liked the change up. I thought that was cool, but I didn't mind it. But yeah, I still wanted more from. If I'm gonna move around slow, I want it to be worth my time. But it was just underwater moving slow.
It was short.
Yeah.
It was short.
Yeah, I think that it was kind of, it didn't really make a lot of sense where it was, but I thought it was cool enough that I was okay with it personally. But
It was just to move that whale snake thing so you could move
Get
your
its
boat.
eyeball.
But it was the other
Yeah.
thing's eyeball.
you had to take the eyeball from the underwater thing and put it in the other thing. Bless you. But I
I
don't
missed
understand
where
why.
it got the eyeball in the first place. How to get someone else's eyeball in its own
I
eye
don't know.
socket?
Ooh,
That's the
this is-
thing. A lot
Trev
of
That's
Man
confusing.
says, for movies, it seems like Does the Dog Die also covers most content warnings now. I have heard of that.
I
It's
frequent
like,
that site.
yeah, it was a site to check. It started off for animals, but it sounds like they do other content warnings now too. So that's cool.
There's probably, I haven't done enough research, but there's probably a website that you could go to for games that has that. Like,
I want to say
yeah.
I've been to
detailed-
one before, but I don't think it was like complete.
Yeah. Thank you, Tramman, for providing that for those who might want it. Do we want to talk about theories yet?
Oh,
What
I
do
got
we-
theories.
I honestly, I kind of want Josh to lead us through this because I'm kind
Well,
of in the same boat as Jericho, where it's like,
Let's like who wants to recap just like what we sort of experienced with, I guess, now the normal ending.
yeah, Josh,
Oh.
please, because I don't know.
Do you want me to explain like what happens at the end?
Yes.
Like by theory, or just explain what happens?
Explain
Just
what
like-
happens.
Just in general.
What did you happen to see in your ending?
Yeah. So what happens in the ending is, in the normal ending is, you're running from the big lamb thing, and it's slowly picking off all your friends. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And by the time you get to the end, it eats the boy character who you've been playing as, if you're playing single player, and you're left with just the girl character. She ends up running, or not very successfully, but kind of running. Reminding me of Titanfall 2, that part where like you're jumping between all the things. Anyway, and then eventually she gets eaten by the giant lamb, and then it essentially shows the boys, I guess you'd say, in the, we don't know for sure, we'll just call them the boys, doing some kind of ritual, cutting their hands, doing some kind of ritual. We see the girl kind of walk up to them, and they're kind of gone
Actually,
or something.
before that, just the throwing up
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
sheep.
you're right.
Like
Constantly
the
in little
sheep was
cutscenes.
inside
Yeah.
Her.
the girl's body maybe and was
Yeah.
growing. I don't know.
I'll
Yeah.
explain it. So after then she sees a rabbit and seems distraught, like on the ground, and then it cuts to them dragging her body, essentially like wrapped up, and throwing her down a well. It maybe looks like one of the boys is gonna kill her first, like with a knife, and then they throw her in the well, and the well kind of overflows with water. It seems like.
Yeah.
So
Which, really
Mm-hmm.
quick, they do throughout the game a lot show the well opening
Mm-hmm.
from the bottom. Like you're looking up at the well from the bottom.
Oh,
Like the little
I see.
like
I
hole.
see.
You
So
know?
it's like the ring.
Yeah, it actually
Yes.
kind of is.
It
We
just
joked
like
about
the
that,
rings.
but it actually kind of
Yeah.
is. So
It actually
here's
is, yeah.
my theory a little bit. First of all, loosely, this kind of all ties in. Like what you said can still be true. It could still be like a purgatory loop situation thing going on. And it also is weird. I don't think, assuming it's like our Earth or whatever, then something's wrong. Like it maybe is an actual purgatory loop because early on you see computers and computer screens running. Actually, it's running that little rabbit cult circle looking thing. And then later you see like these World War II things. So the times of things don't match up with like technology and stuff. So something's weird there. But I think personally that we're seeing things non-linearly, like some of these cutscenes. And that the thing we see at the end is actually the beginning of the game, because when you first boot up the game, is actually a view from the well, and you see the boys looking down the well. And then what happens is you're the boy in the boat, and suddenly you pull her up out of the water, and she tries to attack you actually.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead," and then kind of plays it off or whatever. And to me, the end where it shows the water coming out of the well, that's the whole island being flooded. And then you're just cutting to the beginning of the game where everything's flooded and he's in the boat.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Huh.
So what it seems like to me is they did some kind of ritual, a blood ritual, and this is like the facts. It seems like they did a blood ritual, the boys, and they needed a sacrifice. They sacrificed her, and she's in a rabbit mask. That's so much symbology there with the rabbit and stuff. She even sees the rabbit, which could represent herself, maybe.
Well,
We
like
don't
even like
know
the
exactly.
video that was played.
Yeah,
in
the video
theater
that's
too.
playing.
Ah.
And then she's the sacrificial lamb, right? They kill her and throw her down the well. And so there's a lot to unpack here, because it does seem like what happens is that sheep god or whatever it is seems to inhabit her, possess her, because they don't seem aware of that part of it, because when she spits it up, they seem freaked out. Like they don't expect that to happen. And so I have like an extended theory that might be fun, which is potentially there's like these factions of maybe humans summoning these gods in like this big war, because there's other large animals.
Yeah,
there's
the pigs.
There's that pig. There's that giant whale. There's that weird bone monster thing, and now there's this giant sheep. So maybe there's like these kind of animal cults that are like summoning these weird beasts or gods, like a Godzilla type thing, like kaiju battle type thing. But it could also be true, like you're saying, that this also still, all that other stuff could be true, where the kids are, you're seeing it through the eyes of a kid, and so it could be a little bit exaggerated, like the monsters in the world and everything could just be like a trauma response, and like you're seeing things a little bit exaggerated. But I do think the stuff at the end is actually the beginning of the game.
That makes really. I like that theory, because only thing I could come up with was literally a vague, like, okay, this is deeper and it's a reflection of what these kids had experienced. But like, I like your interpretations way more fun to me. Not saying the other one's not fun. Like,
where the caskets come in, so there's optional caskets. When you open them, a little shadow child comes out and almost reenacts a death. So like it looks like to be like the kids that are in your crew. So there's like the bucket boy, the bandage boy, but this is the shadow version, which is weird. I don't have an explanation for this exactly, but like they'll come out and like look like they got hanged or look like they got smashed or something happens, like a death. And
Man. And maybe she came back from the dead and killed them all.
It could be. And then the last thing is there's a secret ending if you get all the caskets, and it's after the credits. And it's not much, but it shows her at the bottom of the well. And keep in mind, she was wearing a rabbit mask. It shows these other children kind of come out of the walls that are wearing similar kind of rabbit masks, and they just kind of go to her. And then it kind of zooms out of the well again. So we don't really know like what that means, really. Maybe they put the lamb in her somehow, like the lamb god thing or whatever, to reanimate her or something. I don't know. There's a lot, like who knows, right? But very interesting. I thought it took me a while to think about it, because I didn't know what was going on at first. And then I went to YouTube to look up the ending, the secret ending, and I ended up watching like just a let's play of the first part of the game, and that's when I remembered how you find her and pick her up, and she tries to attack you, and everything's flooded. And I was like, oh wait, so that's got to be the inn when the water's coming out of the well, you know. And it could be that the kids, like, maybe they wanted the world to be flooded. I don't know. Maybe that's what they wished for or something. I don't know. Like, why were they doing the ritual to begin with? What were they trying to accomplish with this ritual? Was it, you know, trying to get out of the situation that were they already in a bad situation? It's hard to say. Yeah.
I have a slight iteration on Josh's that I do think I agree with a lot of Josh's. I did do a little bit of research. So some of this is like for picking bits and pieces of like what I've seen other people say. It's not all like original thoughts. I don't want you to think I'm like, oh, yeah. But I think that it's not necessarily, I think there is a loop. I kind of combine Josh and Jerica's theories where I think one of them has to be the sacrifice each time. So I don't think it's always the girl. I think that we're seeing one version of this loop. And I think that each time one kid is the sacrifice, because I do think that I think somehow they awakened this like horror in the world. I think the world was already crumbling. Like, I think there was already like war, things like that. And I think the kids almost like awakened this. Yes, Cater Blossoms have kind of like yellow jackets. Yes. I think that they awakened this like demonic entity because of what was happening in the real world. Like, I think they almost like sacrifice one of them to start this like cycle. And I think it really, if you zoom even out further, I think it's like the cycle of death and like the loop about how like it's never ending and like war.
It definitely feels like that. Like, I think that could still be valid with the loop, especially. And so you're saying maybe they're trying to get out of something, try different things.
Yes. And I think that like essentially every time. So like one thing that I noticed the whole time is that they're not really distressed most of the time. Did you guys like, you know, and I know you can't see their faces.
Especially when you're with your other,
really casual about
when
it.
You're with your other pals, right? Because you're like going to like maybe this dangerous situation and they just kind of sit down and like wait.
And every time they do say like, why did you come back for me? So I almost think that they're like tired of doing this. And they like, you know, they're like, why did you do this? Like, I thought we were done. Like, and I think that there's, you know, the possibility of them stopping, but they don't because they are like continuing the cycle that's like never ending. I don't have a ton of concrete evidence, but I will say that here's like a part of something on Reddit that I found that I'm gonna read really quick. So in the ending, you see the kids seem to have awakened a demonic horror, warping and messing with the world. Now, I don't think the sister was the first host of the thing. I think after throwing down the dead sheep into the well and doing that ritual with the sheep's skull, they awoke something. It, of course, messed with the world, awakening horrifying monsters we face, allowing people to be reanimated. We saw with the zombie soldiers and most likely starting part of the war. So their kind of theory is that the kids almost like started
responsible
it.
For some of the downfall.
And you see the soldiers turning on themselves, trying to take you with them. I think that's important, that they're kind of trying to take you out. Like,
definitely
them,
at some points, especially when they're in the hospital, like trying to crawl after you and stuff.
Yeah. So essentially, I think they're getting reanimated over and over. But of course, with when the new host is picked, they don't want to die again. So the other four will set a trap, just like how the sister was locked in the shed and got tied up. I think the same happened to the hood and the others. When opening each coffin, you see the child's death. And
so that's why I couldn't explain that. I didn't. Yeah. That could make sense. Yeah.
So yeah, it just is another ending loop. I think that it kind of is a combination of all.
It does feel like a purgatory loop stuck place, just because of especially the war part. And what's interesting too, if you think about like, there's not that much dialogue in this game. There is at the beginning, and he says, "Why'd you come back?" There's another one right near this end section right before you get to the war, where they're in the boat and they're like, "I wish we could go back to the way things were," or something like that.
Yeah.
So it does kind of indicate that maybe they are responsible for something, maybe, or like, you know, trying to get out of something.
I agree. I think they've gotten
so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is part of the fun.
It is. I was like, do you love it or hate that? But I think it's sort of fun. Yeah.
I like it. I think sometimes when things are over-explained, it can be less satisfying.
This was... I think if anytime when I know like the ending of something, when it's about to wrap up and it is going to be ambiguous, it's going to be one of those that like, oh, well, think about it for a little while. What's the hidden message here? I don't mind those, especially like if the sequence or the gameplay before that happens is just like epic, big, like the good grand finale for the gameplay of the game. I couldn't care too much about like, hey, is that story going to be, you know, not the ends won't be tied here, which is fine because I think the end of this game was a nice little wrap up. I am okay with it. I like the end of this game.
It was a little weird at first because I was like, they don't really tell you anything the whole time.
I know.
So I was like, they're gonna have to do something because like I don't know what's going on still. It's like I feel like this is kind of near the end, and so then you do have these in little cutscenes, and at first I was kind of like, what is happening? But
I do think there's something to be said about a developer who can do a lot with a little like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I think they're able to like take what they give you and evoke these feelings, which is pretty cool, I would say.
I mean, they're out here boiling deer hoofs, so they know. They know how to cut this out.
Point.
they're boiling them.
They're boiling them.
I'm curious to know like what you guys would like review this as. Are we to that point?
I'm
Is it
glad you've
time?
asked. Jericho,
I know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's time to put a number to the game review, and we're officially going to use this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know for how long, but we'll see. I should have done it on a scale of 1 to 10. That would have been really hard, though. But we have on a scale of 1 to 5, you know, how moist is your roll after playing this game? You know, 5 being drenched, completely soaked. That was an incredible experience, all the way to 1, which I don't have any butter on it. That's a dry roll. Might be a week old. Might be crumbling.
Yep.
I don't have a visual to me, so I hope I described those perfectly.
I think you did. Yeah. It's and also courtesy of the French dip design, who we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
Very
He called these the dinner roll boys. That's what they are. Yeah.
I love it. Jericho, I think you should go first since this is like your
Did this
your
game butter my roll? How buttery moist is my roll after playing Reanimal? This one's tough, but I was thinking about it as I was showering today, actually. It was after I made this little graphic to put in this slide. I was like, well, what am I going to review it? Because I have a number in my head, but I got to do a scale of 1 to 5, which makes it a little bit more tough. I decided to put it at a 3, which almost sounds bad, but I'm in between here. I had a great experience. I had a great time with the story, obviously, but is this a game that I'll forget about in like a month? And it will be, unfortunately. It sounds so drastic after I like harped on it this whole hour and a half or how long we went. I think it's a great game. It's not the best game I ever played, and I don't have any urge to replay it. I'm going to keep it simple. Yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5. Reanimal. That's my official score. It's got some moisture. It's got some butter, but it's not drenched.
Yeah. And I think on the 10 scale, you know, you can do the math. I don't know how that works. The French dip design was summoned.
Did I give it a 50? Is it halfway there? Oh,
50 out of 100.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Josh, did you want to go next? Your final like review and thoughts?
Oh yeah, spoilers have ended. No more spoilers.
Yeah, we're just like reviewing it officially.
I don't trust your review now.
Oh, they can't hear Josh in this scene.
My bad.
Oh
Thank
no.
you. That's my bad.
Thank you guys.
It was because I was typing, so I didn't want to be so loud. Okay. This is a tough one. So, what was I saying? I was making a joke about the baby lamb because I got a baby lamb today. But
and then I said, "Oh, I don't trust his review
right.
because he's got a lamb on his
We're rolling it back.
Yeah, there's a lamb in the back. There's 2 now.
That adds to the immersion. But I think I like this better than Little Nightmares. I think it's a great installment for like this Tarsier to be like, losing their IP and doing like a similar kind of game. The sound design blew me away. I think it gets an extra pat of butter for the sound design on my end. The sound design very good, and even the graphics, just the presentation overall very good. Some truly surprising moments really had me thinking most of the time what's going on, thinking about theories. And so I really like how it played too. And I think there is some replayability finding the masks because I've missed a lot. Even though it was frustrating to kind of miss those, I could see myself not now, but a year from now, like maybe trying to go back and get the masks. So I'm feeling generous tonight, and I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Wow.
The butter's on there. It's melting a little bit.
It's on there. Okay.
I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I think there's room for improvement. This is a great first effort with their new IP or whatever they're going to do in the future. But there's something there. They've got something, and I hope it's successful so they can do something else.
That's very nice. Listen, I will say with Reanimal, my official review, I do think that there is a lot of exciting things that they do here. I think there's a lot of risk that they take. But I do wish they would have made a bigger departure from their predecessor, which was Little Nightmares. I think they could have been a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more ambitious with their direction. I think you can see that the bones are there, like we all have kind of touched on. And I do think that the narrative is compelling with what you do have. So like I said, doing a lot with a little, it's fun to sit here and talk with you guys about what we think. And I think that's part of what is fun about being a gamer, is being able to like theorize and kind of fill in the gaps where there are gaps. But there were a lot of technical opportunities that I struggled with. While I think some of the set design and the audio design was really strong, it did feel a bit clunky. I felt like it wasn't quite as smooth of an experience as Little Nightmares has been. Since, I mean, it's hard to not compare, right? Since that's the only thing we've had from the studio. Are we allowing half butters?
Yeah, half butters are absolutely fine.
Because I think I am going to give it a 3.5 butter roll. I'm going to give it a nice 3.5.
I also want to give it a 3.5 now that we're doing half butters, because that helps. And I still could spread this out. No butter roll puns intended. Like, we can still go 1 to 10 and just have our like critical points be the how buttered is your roll after this game.
I'm okay with it being a 3.5. It sounds.
I might have done that, but I'm gonna stick with my 4 just for the.
I feel like it's not a full audio, just half of the way. So like, I agree, Kayla. I agree. After finishing the game, I align with you. I wish they could have done a little bit more. I feel like stuff was cut from this game. Yeah, I feel like they wanted to do more. Things happen.
Everyone, you always want to do more.
Well,
you gotta cut
it was so short. It was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. And it's $40.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, that's a good point. But I did enjoy the pacing of it. I don't like long games anymore. So
I mean, I don't either. But it's still like $40.
I misspoke, and I have to.
Huh?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I'm sorry. I glitched for a second. I apologize.
Oh yeah. Glitch girl coming back.
Glitch girls. That's the surprise. It's coming back.
It's coming back. I'm a glitch girl now, baby.
Hey,
glitch
surprise
back. All right.
Just kidding. That's not happening. But there's
that's not
happening. I don't know.
You said you misspoke. You said you misspoke,
so
and then we talked about all kinds of
no, it's okay. Well, there you go. That's where we're at. I think that I misspoke because I had thought it was longer than it was. Because when I looked it up, it had said it was like 10 to 12 hours, which seemed crazy. But I do think it could have, if you would have given this like another hour.
Maybe one more scene.
Given us like a slight bit more, like just a little bit more.
What's another animal they could have? We had a pig, we had a
horse.
A horse.
Yeah, we needed a scary horse for me to
in
say.
the forest. Some forest scene with a horse. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't quite as scared as I wanted to be.
Ooh, you think there'll be a
Agreed.
horse DLC? Any DLC coming?
Ooh, I could see DLC. They do little nightmares always.
That's what
They
I'm
do always do little nightmares.
Good point. Because, like, I feel like stuff is cut. I feel like some pacing things are a little weird, especially when you go out into the middle with the tank. Like, I feel like there should be other spots to like drive your boat. Like, I don't know. I just feel like something's missing, and they wanted to add. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my thing, but maybe we find out if they do DLC and open up any areas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah. I enjoyed my time, and I enjoyed talking about it with you guys.
Wow.
The DLC better be free. Don't y'all be
Anybody-
stingy.
Free LC. You want free LC?
Free LC, TLC, no scrubs, baby.
Not die.
I don't want no scrubs. Hey, Hamo says they will do DLC. And I think that's
Oh,
shit,
two,
no
actually.
way.
Is that confirmed?
Confirmed by Hama.
How about you
Well-
gonna join us for Resident Evil Requiem next week?
Yeah. You can play Resident Evil.
Great
We'll start
segue.
this week. We'll be here Monday to talk
Oh,
about
where's the picture? Here it is.
our first. Well, Josh won't be. I think Josh.
Oh, I don't know. It's up in the
I
air.
don't know if Josh will be here or not.
It's up in the
Josh.
air. Here's the situation.
Josh.
I'll tell you all. I'm going snowboarding on the weekend, so I can't
just go and
play it. But
snowboarding.
well, I know, but I do. Especially like the first one. I kind of first
You-
impressions is a first impression.
Take your one of your portables with you and just play
Well,
Resident Evil
so
Requiem
I
on
might
the
be back
slopes.
Sunday night. I could probably get a first impression time. We'll see. If I'm here or not, you'll know what happened.
We can commit. I think it's good to say we'll commit like the first 3 to 4 hours of Resident Evil at least.
One
You
of
think-
us will have played that much for sure.
It will be me. I'll just say it'll be me.
I
can
think
get
I will be
I
too.
could probably get
Okay.
at least 2 to 3 hours, and if I'm back at a reasonable time on Sunday, so we'll see.
We'll see how you feel. No pressure.
The slopes.
There'll be 3
Oh,
DLCs.
3 DLC.
Can I
I
get
love
4?
it.
Can I get 4 DLCs?
Can I get 4?
Four.
I wish I could do that. Like,
That was pretty
option
good.
stuff.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
I think
thank
I
you.
could if I knew what to say. Could I get a one? I don't know.
You guys, I love watching those things.
Really?
Yeah, I went down. The
Oh.
algorithm got hit by it recently.
Jake Twitchin said Resident Evil. Jake Twitchin, you want to come on a spot?
Oh.
Talk
Yeah,
about it
wait,
for a
he's
minute?
never been
No,
on
no,
here.
he's
I don't think.
scared. That's
Oh,
the
that's
scared
right.
face.
Oh,
He's
that's
terrified.
right.
He doesn't do
wait,
those
he doesn't like
games.
scary games.
He's scared. Look at little
We were-
Jake. He's scared.
We were excited to have you. It's upsetting.
Unless you
We
want
may
to.
have a special guest at some point.
A
During
lot
our
of
fourth.
announcements tonight. Wow.
Who's to say?
A lot of announcements.
Reanimal, the Expanded World, Chapter 1. Wow. So Expanded World, Chapter 1, 2, 3. I'm very curious. I think that maybe they'll answer some things that we had
Do
questions
we come
about.
back to this?
I
Do
think
I
maybe-
revisit
maybe
my score after the DLC?
We might, or we could do a short or something. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll depend on when it comes out.
It's confirmed. Summer 2026.
Okay.
Wow,
We'll see.
that's fast.
We'll
Not
see.
that I didn't
Okay,
believe
that's
you,
why
Hannah.
this feels.
We maybe
okay.
could do one episode on the DLC.
Yeah.
I think we should.
I wouldn't mind it.
Oh, the last one will be 2027. 2 will be this year. Last one's.
I only want to do it
Interesting.
because I want to see what was cut. Because I know there's
right.
stuff that's
Yeah,
missing
they'll-
from this.
There'll be an underwater section.
I hope so, Josh. I want
That
you
was
to-
really funny. I didn't know you felt that strongly.
This is for Chapter 1, an expansion of the main game story, introducing new protagonists, a new area, and new
new
enemies.
animals.
Wow.
Hopefully,
Dodie, very nice words. And thank you so much for being here. Probably won't play
Yeah.
through this one, but enjoyed listening to y'all talk about it.
Wow.
thank you.
Well, if you guys, I forgot to plug this at the beginning. I linked our Discord. If you want to join, it's okay if you don't, because I know Discord can be a lot. But if you want to, I linked the specific section where we have our game club and we have the individual forums. So if you're not normally a Discord person, or maybe a lot of channels overwhelm you, if you wanted to just look at this one that I linked, that is where we'll talk about Resident Evil as we play. Everybody's usually pretty good about like having spoiler tags. And it's always
I like
fun to like.
This
talk
is
about
good
what's
feedback from Dodie and Cater, just because, like, even if you haven't played these games, I think that's kind of the intention, is that it'll be entertaining enough that you could just, have us
Yeah.
talk about it and hear us talk about it. And maybe that's fun too.
Well, I feel like you
It's
can
very
get all
flattering.
your answers, or if you have questions or want to, if you know you're not going to play this game, but you still want to like hear it through a lens of maybe one of
Yeah.
us. Like, I think this is perfect because, like, you don't get that kind of conversation in just a review conversation.
Right,
like, it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So, and also, like, our opinions change as we keep playing. So
Yeah.
that's sort of fun to see. Like, you know, I wonder if next week's episode, if I play after I played 3 hours, if I feel better, stronger about this game. So
Finally, a game with no blonde blazer we've played in here.
Graham.
Or the voice actor.
I have someone lined up for us to raid. Jackal, friend of the show, 194, is playing Reanimal. It's perfect.
Hey.
If
perfect.
you guys want to just stop in and say hi, he's not at a part where if you saw it, you would be like, "Oh my god, spoilers!" Because again, like we said,
Yeah.
there's not a ton to spoil. But we're gonna say hey to him, and we're gonna say bye to you guys, and hello to Resident Evil next week. I'm so excited to talk about it.
Finally, I'm so ready to be back in the world of Resident Evil.
Yes. We will see you guys next time. Say hi to Jackal in 2 seconds. Bye.